Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, y'all. This is the WOW podcast, WOWW, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday. I am Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. I'm the owner of Freedom Holistic Wellness, co-owner with my husband of Grace and Grove Homestead, wife, mom, Gigi, alternative medical practitioner, author, lover of Jesus, lover of all things natural and non-toxic. And this is my amazing bestie, Wendy Flournoy.
Hi, guys. Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotherapist, herbalist, forager, educator, student, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of Jesus, and lover of all things non-toxic and God-given.
Amen, sister. So first, I want to apologize. We're having it's not a storm, but we're having a lot of wind and rain. And so if for some reason our connection is a little squirrely, that is probably why, but I'm hoping not.
Right.
Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing week. We are super excited to come to you again on this beautiful, yes, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Even though it's cloudy, the leaves are falling, the wind is blowing.
Wendy and I were just talking though. We both are not fans of the seasonal darkness and go through that whole seasonal seasonal affective disorder, never diagnosed, but it's one of those things that both of us know deep seated. Yeah. We're just such outdoor people in the summer that
you can just feel it coming.
And the fact that it's been getting darker earlier and darker or still dark late in the morning. And then, we're about 4 weeks out or less from the time change. It's like, yes. So you actually made a tea blend I'm excited to try that just might help that.
Tulsi Shine is what I'm calling it.
Love it.
About this time of year, y'all know I've been harvesting massive amounts of Tulsi this year. So about this time of year, I start doing some kind of Tulsi tea. And because I found that Tulsi helps me the most with that little pick-me-up during the dark days.
Yes. That is so good. That is so good. So what else have you had going on this week? I know you had some fun with your bars.
I made a conditioner bar, you guys, that was absolutely horrible. I'm still trying to wash it out of my hair. It was so thick and so heavy that when my hair was dry, it still looked wet. And I hated the way it felt. So thankfully, I only made 2 of those bars and they immediately went in the trash. So
you know
what?
I love that, though, because that is a pure prime example, just like me with a lot of my recipes. Mm-hmm. It's trial and error. We don't just wake up one day and have this amazing idea for something and it work every single time.
Absolutely.
So I love that we can laugh and share our, I don't even want to call them failures, our learning opportunities.
That's right.
Things that don't work, right along with all the things that we love.
There is no failure, only feedback.
That's right. That's right. You're so right.
Because it's not the first failure that I've had, probably not going to be the last failure that I've had. So we're going to learn and grow from that. So I went back to the drawing board, and my shampoo only bar is amazing. I love it. It's aloe rosemary. So Rick and I are both loving that. And that's how I do things. I will make things. I will test it myself. If I like it, I will pass it to my household to get them to give me feedback. If they like it, I will pass it to friends to get feedback before I go any further. So by the time that most people see it, it's been through the ringer on multiple people, multiple feedback, good, bad, and tweaked maybe. So I went back to the drawing board and I was like, okay, the shampoo bar was amazing. So let me see if I can do a shampoo conditioner together and see if that's better. Well, it's amazing. It works very well. I love how it feels. I love how it cleans. But when I went to cut it, It crumbled to pieces. At least I don't have to throw it away. I will use it.
Yeah.
So back to the drawing board to figure, because that to me tells me it needs a little more fat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be using butters. The butters, I think, is what made everything so heavy and thick. So I won't be adding any more butter, but it needs more fat in it. So back to the drawing board on that one. I did make a turmeric ginger soap.
That is so pretty.
Smells amazing. I can't wait to try this one. This one still has a couple of weeks left to cure. You can use them before they're cured, but they tend to kind of melt away. So the longer they sit and cure, the harder they become. So I've just been experimenting and playing around and see what works and what don't. And, back to the drawing board.
All right. Like you said, it's not a failure. It's feedback. I love that attitude. That is perfect. That is perfect. And that's just like me with recipes. So many people hear when I say that something is Bill approved.
Yes.
That is like the big test, because he's the one that doesn't want to eat natural, but loves to eat natural. He feels the difference. So
I see Rick Flournoy rolling his eyes every time I tell him I'm trying something.
Yes.
Why you got to go replacing stuff?
But so when something, when my husband enjoys something I'm feeding him and it's healthy and natural, it's like, woo!
It's a big win.
Win. Because he will be the first to tell me. He's never a jerk about it, but he'll be the first to be like, baby, you don't ever have to make that again. You really don't.
Rick hates when I do something that is like something else. He's like, why you gotta try to change? Why you gotta try to change it? Why you gotta make something it's not? Like, will you stop? I said, we're trying to improve it to make it healthier.
Yes. They just don't get it sometimes, baby. They just don't.
He said, I don't understand why you got to go messing with it.
Don't mess up a good thing. No, if it's not a good thing and they're going to continue to eat it or whatever.
That's right. We got to try to make it better.
That's right. That's right.
Eventually I'll get it to where he really likes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have found that if he's being good and not having the regular junk, the natural stuff tastes a lot better to him.
It absolutely does.
But when he's eating all of the junk and stuff, that's the expectation that he has of what the taste should be.
That brings up such a great point, Wendy, because so many times this is exactly what I tell people when I'm walking with them through a whole lifestyle change. Yes. Is that, you think things that you are eating now are things you're going to miss. Yes. When you realize how nasty and chemical laden they are and actually taste when your taste buds change to what food is supposed to taste like.
Right.
You have no idea. You're not going to miss it. Just like we were just talking about coffee.
Yes.
We say it so often, but it's so true. I was so mad when I realized how much money I'd spent over the years on Starbucks, only to realize that it tastes horrible. It is so.
I've never been a Starbucks fan. It was always too bitter.
Because of the chemicals. And it's not good quality. They just fool people into thinking it is and spending an arm and a leg. But
coffee is bitter. It is not good coffee.
Right. Also, the processed foods, like when I started on this journey, you and I were very similar to our starts on this, but I can remember one day in the nursing break room, and somebody had all these hostess things and everything. And I was probably 3 or 4 years into it, but I was, had my occasional weak moment. And I can remember it was like middle of the night on a night shift. And I was going, you know what? I used to love me some Twinkies. I'm going to have one. It was the nastiest thing I've ever had. And it was because I could taste all of the garbage in it. It's not good.
For me, it was the little mini chocolate covered donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Come in the package.
Yep. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, the first time I had one of them after eating clean for a while, it was like it left the nastiest aftertaste and film in my mouth so bad that I had to go brush my teeth.
Yeah. It's like a plastic. I mean,
Yes, you couldn't get rid of it on its own.
yeah. Yeah. So you just have no idea how easy it is when you actually commit to this lifestyle. I mean, it really is.
I think that I'm not going to say worst. The hardest challenge for me was getting through like the first 4 days of the sugar.
Oh, of course.
Because I think for me, once I got past that hump, it became so much easier because that addiction was breaking.
It's equivalent to a cocaine addiction.
Yes.
I mean, they've actually proven that when you look at somebody's reaction, their brain reaction on MRI, when they are craving cocaine versus when they're craving sugar, it looks the same. Yeah. So, it has a profound effect on your body. So it absolutely makes sense that you struggle with that. Or when you have taken in too much sugar. I have to detox periodically, not because I eat a lot of sugar, but sometimes if I go through a period, like when we go on vacation and I'm really, I'm making homemade ice cream and I'm really not counting my carbs and don't really care that much about, I just care that I'm eating clean, but clean carbs is still, is still sugar. Clean sugar is still sugar. And so sometimes I'll have to detox and I'm just like, whoo, but it once you do,
a few days and it really starts to break that cycle.
The worst of the worst sugar addicted folks that I have worked with are 100% over it in 2 weeks.
Yes.
100%. If they truly stick to the way I teach them to get through it, 100% over it in 2 weeks. And we're talking the worst of the worst. Most people, it's like you said, 4 or 5 days, boom, they're good. So it's, it just needs to be done right, and
yes,
so.
Absolutely.
But that's one of the things I love to walk people through,
Right. And you do an excellent job at it too.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy that because I love seeing the results. And I'll tell you something else I love walking people through now. I have had several clients recently that I've walked them through water fasting and different detoxes. People's minds are being blown. We're talking to some of my old clients that have come back to me for like a 4-week reset and stuff that we've started them on a water fast. And, some of them, it's only 24 or 36 hours. Yes. And their minds are blown.
Even just 36 hours is amazing. And if you're sitting here thinking that, wow, I don't think I can do 36 hours. I'm going to tell you what, the way Wendy teaches with the time restricted eating and things like that, you can build up to 36-hour water fast at absolutely no time.
Oh, it's easy.
And you may struggle just a tiny bit because I surprised myself when we did that first 3-day fast. Yeah, I really did because I was like, I had prepped myself for it to be extremely difficult and it wasn't. So, and 36 hours can do tremendous wonderful things.
And the mineral supplementation and things like that I help people with. Yes. That, I'm not a big supplements girl. But that is one area that when I have walked people now through these fasts and encourage the supplementation of, certain supplements that I've found that are really good for that. Game changer. Like even when you and I did it, remember I didn't do the mineral supplementation when we did the 3-day and I was struggling by day 3. I did the 5-day with 0 problems with the supplementation. Right.
Yeah, because I think you ended up having like a really bad headache or something.
I remember day 3, we were doing a podcast that day. Yep. And I was like, dude, I am not feeling it today. It was rough. It was really rough. So I really love how much this summer and walking through all these detoxes myself has helped me. But now to have clients that I'm doing them with, oh my goodness. I mean, it's powerful to see the results on different people to correct different things. It's one thing when it corrects issues I had, but to see it correct so many other things in other people, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And if anybody out there is struggling with any symptoms that you can't figure out how to navigate and to heal from, let me help you, because I'm telling you, we're doing some big things with these detoxes. It's really exciting.
It is exciting.
It is. Speaking of something, because I know we want to talk about it now and also at the end, our retreat series. I don't have all my notes in front of me, but we know. So we are starting to get enrollments. The initial flash sale is over, but we do have an early bird special through November 8th. It is not quite as low as what the flash sale was, but it is still the lowest price from here on out that you're going to get.
That's right.
Let's see here. The one on November 15th, that is the one you guys want to sign up for now. We will not take enrollments after November 8th because Wendy and I need to know how many people to plan for all the food we're making, for all of the supplies and all of the fun hands-on stuff you guys are doing. It's going to be exciting, but that's going to be our holiday edition one.
Yes.
We're providing you with, I'm making a special e-cookbook just for those folks. We're going to be serving foods just out of the e-cookbook that are great holiday foods that are all made healthy and clean. We're going to be doing homemade extracts. We're going to be teaching and doing some fall and holiday tea blends.
Yes.
Pot simmers, potpourri, that kind of thing. You guys are in for such a treat. I hope you will join us. So if you even feel like you can't commit to all three in the series, which one is November 15th, that's the one day. We have a 2-day one in April and a 2-day one in October. But if you want to just do the holiday one, you want to definitely not miss that. So definitely get signed up. And we are capping it when we hit our max because it's in my home. And so we can only, especially in the cold weather or cooler weather, we can only have but so many people here because we can't go outside.
So we don't want too many anyway, because we both love the one-on-one time with people, and you can get so much more intimate and get to know each other better, and people can feel free to ask any questions and while they're learning and things like that.
Absolutely.
Without getting overwhelmed.
Yes. So a couple things I've been working on this last week. If you saw I even shocked Wendy, y'all. She didn't even know about this. If you saw my post yesterday, I'm going to have my next 2 books ready for release in by the spring, if not one of them even sooner, maybe February. But yeah, I'm so excited. I am nose to the grindstone back to my writing, and I'm really enjoying it. Don't worry. I had Lisa Lawson said, what? No preview team like I did before. Yes, I will have a preview team. I'm just not there yet. So look out for that. Super excited to do that again, and gonna hopefully everything will work out to where I can work with Donna Parteau again, which is what I'm hoping to do, who's a national best-selling author, and she served as my mentor last time, and we were just chatting yesterday, so it looks like that's going to happen again. I'm so excited. But also totally flipping the script here, but let's talk about decaf coffee.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I was inspired by Lisa. I was just talking about Lisa Lawson. I was guiding her through a water fast, and I told her, I was like, look, you gotta spend a couple of days ahead of time decreasing your coffee. Otherwise you're going to be miserable. Cause she's like we are with coffee, like just loves it in the morning. And, and she said, I'm really thinking about coming back to decaf when I'm done with this, because It's insane how bad our bodies withdraw. And I thought about it because I've always had this joke. It's like, decaf, what's the point? You know, it's like, why am I going to do that? But, you know, it does make sense. Here's the thing. If you just get decaf coffee off the grocery store shelf, you are likely getting chemical solvent decaf coffee. It is not natural. It is not naturally processed. They are stripping the caffeine out of it with chemicals. You don't want decaf coffee like that.
Mm-mm.
So what you want, and she inspired me to look into this deeper. I knew about the Swiss water and mountain water processing, but I didn't really, because I never cared about drinking decaf, quite honestly. But I thought more about it because as I prepare for my next water fast, which I'm planning on doing quarterly, I started thinking about it, and I'm like dreading the withdrawals. So, and this is what I say every time I have to withdraw from it. There's a problem if my body is fighting this hard. That is supposed to be my wake up call. I'm great about recognizing that with everything else, with sugar, with, you know, if I were to ever be eating any kind of processed foods and all that stuff, sodas, all that, you know, that's one of the big reasons one of many, but that you'll never see me going back to any of that stuff because I don't ever want to go through that again. So why do I keep doing it with coffee? It's so stupid. I just enjoy it so much. And, you know, and I love my teas. I mean, you know, you and I drink tea all the time.
Oh, I love tea, but there is something about that coffee that has a hold on me.
Yes. So I started doing some deep dives into it, and Swiss water processing is the best. If you can't get a hold of some Swiss water processed and you go with mountain water or just water processed, those aren't bad. It's kind of like the organic seal. When something is Swiss water processed, they have a certain standard they have to meet. And so you don't 100% know if the ones that say that they're mountain water processed or just water processed are, you know, to that high standards. Okay. It's a shame. I wish there was a certification for the mountain water process because in theory, the mineral content is higher in that water. Right. So it should actually be better, but there's just no safeguards in place to make sure they're meeting that standard like there is with the Swiss water. So until that changes, Swiss water is the best way to go. Okay. But what I have found, is, well, you always want whole bean. It just makes such a difference.
Once you go whole bean and grind your own, you'll never go back to buying pre-ground.
No. So I found one that I have ordered. And also, can we just talk about Amazon for a second? I'm so mad at them. So I have 2 Amazon accounts, y'all. Here, I'm gonna probably get shut down from them now once I tell you this. I have 2 Amazon accounts. One is for my author profile, and I had it set up under my business email address and all of that. And that's, you know, what I do a lot of my business stuff on. But years ago, I set up my Amazon Prime on a different email address. So I've just kept that. I mean, it still has my maiden name and all the things. So it's been from a long, long time ago. Well, I happened to go on my business account because that's what I was logged into to look up this particular brand. It's Don Pablo brand of the decaf Swiss water processed coffee that's low acid and all the things. It checks all the boxes. Why did it cost more for the same shipping address and everything for me to purchase it on my Prime account than it did on my business account?
Yeah.
They don't treat it like a business account, mind you. So it's not like I was getting any perks for that.
Right.
It is because I'm getting free shipping. So they're jacking up the price. I didn't realize that before. and something made me scratch my head about that not too long ago, because Bill sent me a link for something and he doesn't have Prime on his account. And I was like, why is the price like $4 difference? And that's why. I guarantee you, because they're charging more for those of us who have Prime. So it might not be, I'm sure it's a good deal, because I know as much as I have spent on Amazon, the shipping makes a big difference. But that to me is a shyster move, just saying.
Well, I've never gotten Prime because I'm perfectly okay with waiting. But I have noticed that even not having Prime, they're starting to take away the free shipping, even if you decide to wait for it. Even if it takes longer, they're starting to take that away. And I'm like, but they do still have in place without Prime that if you spend more than $50, you get free shipping on most things, not everything, but most things. So I'm like, but I have noticed, like you, if I go directly to a manufacturer site, like the coffee that I like, Charleston Roasters, if I go directly to their site, the coffee is cheaper than it is on Amazon.
And that's what made me bring that up, because if you guys decide you want to try this and go decaf and, all the things, Don Pablo, it's like called Earth. Conscious I don't know. Forgive me. I just ordered it and I haven't received it yet.
Is it donpablo.com?
Yeah. Yeah. The coffee that I purchased from them was cheaper than it was on Amazon. And also, if you spend $60, you get free shipping. I'm a sucker for getting whatever I need to get free shipping. So instead of buying a 12-ounce bag for $15, I bought a 5-pound bag. And I also put it on auto ship for every 60 days. So it ended up costing $60. That same bag was $82 on Amazon.
And if you don't know, if I know but if anyone else doesn't know, if you get coffee beans like that, they store very, very well in the freezer.
Absolutely.
You can buy in bulk like that, save money, and then put it in the freezer. And when you take them out and grind them up, they're gonna taste just as fresh as I don't know what.
Yeah. And so I've just decided that there's health benefits to caffeine. It's got, polyphenols and everything, but there's also so many health benefits in green tea. I'm going to get my caffeine from green tea. And, if you have the recommended 2 to 4 cups a day of green tea, depending on the type of green tea you get, at most, you're going to have the equivalent of a little over 1 cup of coffee. So, I think that it is well worth it to shift that over. I'm going to shift all my caffeinated stuff to my green tea. Because the average green tea is like 25 to 40, is it milligrams or micrograms? I have to look that up again. Milligrams, 25 to 40 milligrams of caffeine per 8-ounce cup of green tea versus roughly 100 for 8 ounces of coffee, of regular caffeinated coffee.
Well, then you'll probably love my Rise and Shine tea blend.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And then
in November.
Yes. Oh, that'd be awesome. The only green tea that has a lot more is the matcha, which matcha has a lot of health benefits too. But even that is like 60 to 80 grams. Right. So, if you're just having 1 cup of that or mixing some in your smoothie or something, yeah, you're getting caffeine, but it's still not as much as coffee. Right. So anyway, that's my new plan. When I come off of this next water fast that I do, I'm kind of planning ahead. I'm not going to come back to caffeinated coffee. I'm just not, because I want to have my coffee flavor. I want to have that coffee in the morning. I just do not want anything that is going to cause me that much withdrawal when I get rid of it.
Absolutely.
And that's really my last vice. I mean, it is, I'm not saying I don't have any vices in the world. the foods, you think about it. It's like I got rid of the alcohol 3 years ago. As a matter of fact, 3 years, what, next week after next. And I got rid of, I don't do the sugars. I don't do all that kind of stuff. I feel so much better. And coffee's it. That's the only thing that my body just keeps fighting. So,
well, as soon as you get that Don Pablo in, I can't wait to hear about it and how much you like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it and see how I do with it, and I'll just shift to that. So, and that one too is low acid, which I know that means a lot to you and to a lot of people that follow us, because we talk about the alkaline diets and everything. And we actually talked about it last week, and about how the one thing we consume that's higher acid is animal protein in our lifestyle. But I failed to mention the other thing is coffee. Yes. So, and it's the high caffeinated, high acid coffees. If you get a low acid coffee, that definitely makes a big difference.
I've noticed a huge difference since we switched to low acid coffee.
Yeah.
For sure.
The lifestyle alone helps with like actual visible signs of acid, like if you have reflux and things like that. But if you are on this journey with us and consuming all natural foods and still have a little bit of reflux, if you haven't changed your coffee yet, try that, because that can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
All right, girl, you are starting a new.
We're gonna do herb of the week.
I love it. I love it. And which one are we doing today?
We're doing one that's blooming all over the place right now. I wish I would have saved a stem to show you what it looks like.
Oh, so much.
But Goldenrod is this is freeze dried, but it I think I showed in one of our episodes the stem when I harvested. It kind of comes up and it branches out.
It reminds me almost like a triangular on the top.
Yes.
Because it kind of it comes up in a point. When I walk up the street, there's a big field of it. And I was just like, oh, I want to just harvest it all. I do have some in my yard, but it reminds me almost triangular.
It does. And it's so pretty and it's so bright yellow. And I'm sure everyone's seeing it right now because it grows all over the place.
Yeah.
But its Latin name is Solidago.
Oh, okay.
Okay, which means to make whole.
Oh,
okay.
That's neat.
So this time of year, I love harvesting it. It gets a bad rap because a lot of people think that this is what causes their fall allergy to act up. When in fact, it's ragweed that grows almost right next to it everywhere it is.
Yeah.
So this is in the aster family, the daisy family. You use leaves and the flower parts. And you can, there are several different species, and you can smush the leaves and smell either it will smell bitter or it will smell more like licorice. Okay. That will tell you the difference between the species of it. But there are some lookalikes, so be very careful when you're foraging to make sure that you know what you have. It starts blooming late summer because I have two different types of varieties in my front yard by our pond area. And one is an early goldenrod and one is a late. Well, one of them is kind of bitter and the other one is more like a licorice taste. So it's kind of fascinating that they're in the same family. They're the same species, just a little different. You know, how you get hybrids and things like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? It's a very cleansing, renewal, and gently restorative.
Okay.
It's called goldenrod, woundwort, Liberty tea. I know a lot of us have heard of Liberty tea. Aaron's rod, it's also called. It's warming, it's drying, it's gently stimulating, and it's naturally uplifting.
So with it being gently stimulating, is that why it's good for liver detox?
I would assume so. Yes.
Okay.
Because it has so many different medicinal properties, and we'll get into that. But because it's also a good diuretic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's probably more likely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because urinary tract, kidney health, because it's a diuretic, but it's gentle.
Yeah.
It gently cleans kidneys, the bladder, releasing excess fluid and things like that. It's very good for the kidneys at preventing kidney stones.
Nice.
I know a lot of people suffer with kidney stones. So it's like little goldenrod tea every now and then just to keep things cleared out.
Yeah. You know what? I bet it would be really tasty to do a goldenrod. I'm adding to your list of things to experiment with, to do a goldenrod with dried cranberry,
Ooh,
for a urinary tract,
yes.
and maybe some raspberry leaf. Okay, everybody just
That would even be really, really tasty.
yeah, when we start having a bunch of cranberry coming out here soon next month, or maybe even this month. Ooh, try that one. I'm excited.
I'm drinking goldenrod tea today.
Yes. Is it bitter, or did you mix it with stuff?
I mixed it with stinging nettle
Okay.
and peppermint and lemon balm.
Okay. So
The goldenrod is a little bitter on its own, but you can't mixed with things like peppermint and lemon balm. You can never go wrong with peppermint and lemon balm added to a tea.
That's
never.
Right.
You're going to get the medicinal properties from it, and it's going to make your tea taste good.
Yes, because I'm funny about that. It's like I want to enjoy my tea.
Yes, I don't want to have to hold my nose and drink my tea down.
No, it's like I love the medicinal benefits, but if I can't get through a cup of it, I don't want it. So that's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, that is always my goal when I make a tea blend is to make it medicinal with a purpose, yet also enjoyable. Okay, that way it's like you are enjoying a cup of tea, not taking medicine.
Right, 100%.
Okay, so goldenrod is very, very good for allergy and sinus support.
Okay.
Like I said, it gets a bad rap because of the ragweed that grows next to it. But you know how God works and creates and plans, right? Next to everything that will give you a symptom of something, next to it is the cure. Okay. So
true.
Next to ragweed, you will find growing somewhere around it goldenrod.
That's so cool.
It's got a natural antihistamine effect to it, anti-inflammatory actions that ease sinus pressure, watery eyes, congestion. The anti-inflammatory, because it's rich in flavonoids and saponins, the goldenrod reduces inflammation and pain in joints and muscles. It's comforting ally for arthritis, stiffness, and even after workout soreness.
Nice.
Yes. It also can be used topically for wound healing and skin care. That's where the name woundwort came from. It's antimicrobial, and astringent properties promote tissue repair. So you can use it, you can soak it in water and take a rag and put a rag in there and wring it out and use it on your skin for cuts, scrapes, burns, rashes, things like that.
Now, would that work well with plantain, or would it be kind of one of those things you do either or?
You could use both together.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't be necessary. One or the other would probably suffice. You know what I mean? It is really good for respiratory and digestive support. It clears gently. Okay, so this would be 2 to 4 cups a day for, I would say, a week, okay, at a time. Clearing mucus, soothing cough, supporting the lungs. It aids digestion because it's bitter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. We know all of our bitters are
Yeah,
very good for our digestive system.
and our liver,
And
both.
yes, and liver detoxification, encouraging the body's natural rhythm of cleansing, renewal, and restoration.
Nice.
Gently.
Mm,
Yes. Gently being the key. And when I say gently, it means it's not going to be an instant fix.
right.
It's going to be a process, and it's going to take some time. And most of your herbal remedies and your herbal medicines and your herbal teas do take time.
And you want that. You
Yes.
want your body to adjust to it naturally and
Yes.
respond naturally. When you are taking something herbal that has a very rapid effect, it should only be in certain cases when medicinally, you have to do something in a hurry because of something you're having whether it be a specific illness or something like that, or, it, otherwise, that it's something that's probably too harsh for your system. You really want something that's a lot gentler on you, like you're describing.
We have to remember that herbal medicine is not emergency room medicine. Okay.
And it's not
if you need an emergency room, go to the emergency room.
Exactly. And you know what? That's one of the things that I always tell people, because I get texts and emails all the time when I recommend a certain natural healing method of something. And if they're like, well, it didn't fix it yet. Well, no, it's not going to. Everything natural takes longer, but we want that.
Right.
I understand that sometimes it's not comfortable to have certain symptoms, but
Right.
you're talking about long-term, so much better for you
Yes.
than what anything synthetic can do.
And your body does so well when it's adjusting slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times, especially when we're talking about eliminating inflammatory processes and things like that, you can put a Band-Aid on something and think you've eliminated any kind of inflammatory process, and you really have not. So doing it, naturally might take a little bit longer, but it's going to actually heal it at the cellular level. And that's what we want.
Exactly. We want everything at the healed at the root.
Yeah.
Instead of just masking symptoms.
Exactly.
Or taking care of symptoms.
Yeah.
But I like Goldenrod prepared as a tea with like peppermint and lemon balm, and we're going to do that dried cranberry and red raspberry leaf, because that's going to be amazing too. But the teas, just because, like I've said before, I love the aromatherapy that comes along with a good hot cup of tea.
Absolutely.
Because that's medicinal too.
It is. It is
enjoyable and medicinal. It can be tinctured and used as a topical wash too.
Okay.
As with any herb, do your own research. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, do not take this. I'm not a doctor. Don't play one on YouTube.
You hear that, YouTube? Even when we tell people how great Manuka honey is.
Anyone that has allergies to the daisy family should not use Goldenrod. All right. If you are on kidney or heart medications, do not use Goldenrod, because it will interfere with those medications. Mm-hmm. Now, let's flip to the spiritual and symbolic meaning of Goldenrod, because this is beautiful too. Because it stands tall and golden, even in poor soil, it reminds me of God's grace. Okay. And restoration. It reminds me that even in difficult seasons with no nurturing, that we can still bloom right where he put us.
Ooh, I love that.
Okay. Because Goldenrod it can be in poor soil, wet soil, it doesn't matter, and it still grows.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that.
Oh, let's see.
Such a great perspective.
Well, I love plants that just thrive on neglect and deficiency.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, and logicalness, this plant should not be growing. It should
Right.
not be vibrant. It should not stand tall, yet it does. And so it kind of just reminds me that, no matter what we're dealing with, no matter what storms we're going through, no matter how we may feel like we're not being fed or nurtured or taken care of, that God still allows us to bloom right where we're at. So I love looking at it. It's bright yellow. So it's like when you look at it, you can't help but to be happy and smile.
Yeah.
Especially with the darker days coming, shorter days coming, and all like that. And it's just right now, it's everywhere, and it's bright and it's happy.
I love that. Shine like a goldenrod.
Yeah. The indigenous use goldenrod for all kinds of kidney issues and skin issues, which they passed the knowledge to the colonies.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that was pretty interesting. It started here in America.
Oh, wow. One of the few.
Right. Ended up in Europe. So it's like, normally it's over there and comes here, but this one actually was started here and ended up in Europe.
Nice.
So that was pretty interesting fact about that too.
I love that.
So I look at goldenrod as the perfect plant to teach us to gently let things go.
Yeah. Gently
release so that we can be restored and back to original flow. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. So I have the tea that I put together this morning. Simple blend, tastes really good. Going to get all the medicinal benefits of goldenrod, stinging nettle, peppermint, and lemon balm. So I did it in parts, like you do your spices.
Yeah.
Because when I make things, I tend to make them this size, and not everybody wants that much.
Right.
So 1 part goldenrod, 1 part stinging nettle, a 1/2 part peppermint, and a 1/2 part lemon balm.
Nice.
So you would just mix those together, and then it would be a tablespoon per 8 ounces of water.
Yeah.
Hot water.
Perfect.
1 to 2 cups daily during times of seasonal change, or you just feel like you want to do a gentle cleansing and renewal.
Love it.
And that's goldenrod, you guys. Go get you some.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, honey. That is awesome. Yeah, it's all over the place right now. So if you guys,
if you're out foraging and you have a question, email us a picture. I will let you know.
Yeah. Wendy's on wellness at gmail.com.
Yes.
Or you can always reach us. I don't check that email. I'll just be honest with you. Wendy is a lot better at it than I am.
I'll say, or send us a message, private message on Facebook, on Instagram. Probably Facebook is probably what we check the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. So that's awesome. Cool deal.
We'll do a herb a week, and they won't always be that long, but I felt like goldenrod was speaking to me spiritually.
Well, anything drawing you closer to God is always a wonderful thing.
That's right. It's a win.
It is. Well, cool. So I wanted to continue our fad diet series and talk about keto, which is actually near and dear to mine and Wendy's heart.
Yes, it is.
Because we both did lose a lot of weight on keto before we know what we know today. Yep. Is it effective? Yes. Is it great for long-term health? No. Here's what I wanted to share about keto. First of all, what is keto? Keto is ultra low carb. It depends on, so that's just it. There's so many differing opinions on what is defined as keto.
Yes.
Technically, it is under 50 grams of carbs. Some people will tell you under 20 grams of carbs. It just depends on who you're listening to.
And what you're following. Yes.
and what you're following, which is actually one of my biggest problems with it, because there's so many different types of keto that you really don't know which way is the healthiest.
Because aren't they even calling it dirty keto, clean keto? I mean, aren't they even breaking it down like that now? I don't know, but I've heard the terms.
Yeah. So it's also high fat, which if you're consuming the right kind of fats, it's, that's fine. The problem is that, and well, let's talk about what it's good for. It is good for appetite suppression. I'm going to tell you that blew my mind, because when I did keto, I had zero hunger once my body got accustomed to it. And I lost weight very quickly. So you lose a lot of glycogen stores and water, both. So a lot of people report problems with like leg cramps and stuff like that when you're doing keto, because you are really depleting your body of, because of all the water loss, especially of electrolytes. So you have to supplement. Now, that right there is always my measure for, is this a healthy long-term, lifestyle?
Right.
If you have to supplement because of the way you eat, that is not good long-term. Kind of like what we talked about with eating a vegan diet last week. Short term, like when we were talking about, that's what I encouraged for cancer. When both of our husbands had cancer, when I've had clients with cancer, I encourage a vegan diet, because you are in fight mode, and that is what's best during those times. Long term, you're missing out on a lot of B vitamins. Well, likewise with this, you miss out on a lot of electrolytes and fiber, because most keto experts do not encourage, they don't encourage net carbs. They encourage just looking at total carbs.
Yes.
So net carbs is total carbs minus fiber. So basically you're giving yourself credit for eating a lot of fiber when you're focused on net carbs. Now, for short term, I'm talking 2 to 6 weeks for a metabolic reset, keto's phenomenal. It is, when done right, it is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of clients that when they have major insulin resistance, I will give them a keto meal plan, a ketogenic meal plan, really low net carb temporarily. Sometimes 20, 30 grams net carbs. And
that's all, that always should be temporary.
Yes. But you doing that long term, anything that is requiring supplementation, B is eliminating whole food groups of foods that God gave us, is just not good for you long term. If you look at if you measure those two things against any fad diet out there, and you see that supplementation is going to be required and it is eliminating a whole food group, that is a good indicator that long term those are not good options for you. So like I said, 2 to 6 weeks max for it when you need a metabolic reset. It's phenomenal for that. Now, I don't encourage high carbs ever, okay? I don't think anybody, the standard American diet is so insanely high carb. Some literature says that we average in this country 300 grams of carbs a day. Wow. That is insane. But when you think about all the processed foods, all of the flours, all of the things that we consume, the breads, all of that on a regular basis, it kind of makes sense.
It does.
The breads, the pastas, the cakes, the cookies, everything is carby. Yep. You think about it, when you go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac value meal, You've got your bread, you've got your fries, you've got your soda, which is carbs. And then, let me get a hot apple pie. You've just had carbs on top of carbs on top of carbs on top of carbs. So it can easily add up very quickly, right? So I don't ever recommend a higher carb lifestyle, but you'll never hear me recommend over 100 grams for anybody. But when you are looking at net carbs, you are making a huge difference in your health. As a matter of fact, one of the 2 next books I'm writing is on being fiber focused. Nice. Being fiber focused is the key to unlocking just about every health condition that is out there. It will help you with your cholesterol. It helps you with your weight loss. It helps you with all kinds of GI disorders. Your blood pressure, just everything can be linked to, are you getting enough fiber? So a lot of the keto gurus out there don't even talk about fiber. They don't encourage it. Your body needs a minimum of 22 to 28 grams just to function normal. But for good health, ladies should be shooting for 35 grams, and guys should be shooting for 40 grams. We don't come anywhere close to that in the standard American diet. Most people get not even 10 grams a day. So I just don't like anything that encourages that. Now, I do know some people who do keto that do the high fiber keto. And in fact, that's what you and I did. Or, also with keto,
by net carbs too.
Yeah, we always went by net carbs. That made a huge difference. It is very difficult and very restrictive if you're trying to keep, like, I know when I was doing it, I kept my net carbs at like 15.
Yeah.
So
during when we were trying to get off the weight, it was 20 and under for me.
Yeah, same. But I did do the net carbs, so I was still getting the fiber. But also, you brought it up a second ago, the dirty keto versus the clean keto. That dirty keto is so bad for your health, like insanely bad for your health. And people do it all the time. Will you lose weight? Yep. But you can bet it's coming back. You can also bet you might end up with your cholesterol going up, with all kinds of problems, because they are only focused on that number and they don't care where it's coming from.
That's right.
So they're buying all the garbage. Keto approved foods that are, not even foods.
Reminds me of all the Atkins products, Atkins diet.
Oh my gosh.
All the junk for the Atkins diet. And keto is kind of the same way now. It's like you can find all kinds of stuff that has the keto name on it, and it's nothing but junk.
Atkins was a form of keto still is, but Atkins, South Beach, all those. But the thing is that they thrived on the garbage processed foods. And, I can't tell you how many people I work with that tell me, I've eaten healthy before. I did Atkins. I'm like, that is not healthy. That is horrible.
Weight Watchers.
Yes. And I've been there, I'm not judging. I've been there, but I'm telling you, before I knew better, I did all those. Okay. You are absolutely destroying your metabolism, for starters. You are continuing to eat the non-food foods, the garbage, ultra processed foods. And you are not paying attention to fiber. All of these things are bad. But when you are eliminating whole food groups, like the only fruit you can eat are berries, you can't have any grains, you can't have any, and even the gluten-free grains, you can't have any of those. Quinoa is the most complete protein of all plants, and you can't touch quinoa. A lot of times, like the nuts and all that are severely limited. You can have small amounts of them for sure, but very limited. So it is just not a long-term good lifestyle. It's not. Same thing when you're looking at the high fat aspect of it. if you're getting your fats from clean, good quality sources, salmon, avocado, coconut oil, avocado oil, good quality olive oil, things like that, your nuts, your seeds, you can eat all kinds of fat, and animal fats are fine. But if you're paying attention to what we said last week about how much animal protein we recommend, you're never going to exceed a safe amount of animal fats, because you're going to have a reasonable amount of protein. You're not going to have some insane amount of protein like the carnivore diet and things like that. So anyway, I just really want to encourage anybody who is dead set on keto. Yes, it works. It 100% works for a reset and for weight loss. Yes, it does. But if you are not doing it in a way that you're being guided into how to ease your body back out of it, your weight's going to come back. You're affecting your metabolism in a negative way. And I'm sorry, I know people who have been on keto long term and have had health problems as a result. They don't want to come off of it because their weight is gone, and that's wonderful. But at what expense? And you can keep your weight off. You can keep your weight off if you eat a well-balanced diet. You just need to learn what that looks like and focus on that fiber, y'all.
Transition over to a clean eating lifestyle.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Temporary clean keto.
And that was the thing. When you and I did it years ago, we at least had the understanding that it had to be clean and it had to be, with fiber figured in.
Yes.
So, that's why you and I did so well, and why it didn't harm us long term, like it does so many people. But it is so key that if you're going to do it, you do it short term. Now, I didn't do it short term because I didn't know better. I did it for 10 months and my metabolism was affected. But that being said, I recovered. I was able to figure out what I needed to do to help my metabolism kick back in.
Yes.
But it's wonderful for short term. It is for metabolic reset. And a lot of times you'll hear, I'm always talking about Dr. Mark Hyman. To me, he sets the gold standard on functional medicine, and he uses it a lot for people who need a metabolic reset. But again, and I use it too for that purpose.
And, it's great too for those that are really extremely overweight, to motivate them, because the weight does come off fast.
It does.
So if you're motivating and teaching clean keto and still temporary while transitioning to a clean eating lifestyle to make, long-term changes.
Yeah. And I follow it too when I do my Sugar Busters protocols. When I'm helping people get over, their sugar cravings, I will absolutely. Yeah, because it will. But again, that's only needed for a couple weeks. That is not needed long term, and you will reset your body. I mean, I have a client I'm working with right now, and she sent me a message Monday. Yeah. That said, and she was like, she came to me because she said, I am so healthy. I work out all the time. I home make all my food, but I cannot kick this craving. And we've got her on a 12-week, personalized healing pathway. But the thing that she was most worried about and why she was convinced that she couldn't lose her weight was because of her sugar addiction. Man, in a week's time, it's gone, know? So it is so powerful when you know what you're doing and you utilize it in the right way. Absolutely. I don't have any problem getting her, as much as she works out, getting her back up to 60, 65 grams net carbs easy. I mean, her body will tolerate it. So, it's just a matter of guiding somebody through on what their body needs. But so, also with the nutrient gaps, when you are missing out, when you're not consuming certain fruits, a well-balanced fruit portfolio or whatever you want to call it, or grains or nuts or beans or, legumes, anything like that you avoid just because of the carb content, you are missing out on such vital nutrients. It will start to affect your body.
Yes.
So if you guys have any questions about that at all, please let me know. Unlike what a lot of people stress out about the cholesterol, when it's done right, even with the higher fats, when you're eating the right fats, right balance of the animal fats and avoiding the processed foods, your cholesterol will come down. It will not go up. If yours goes up because you're eating a higher fat diet, you're not eating the right fats, you're not eating the right balance, and you're still probably consuming something processed.
Yep.
So it's really powerful once you unlock that and realize that, you are, you have a lot more control over that cholesterol than people lead you to believe. One of my favorite things I'll mention Dr. Hyman again, and I use this quote a lot. High cholesterol is not a statin deficiency.
That's right. That's right.
That's how the doctors, treat it. It's just like, oh, your cholesterol requires a statin. No, your cholesterol requires you eat properly.
That's right.
It will be fixed. I have yet to have somebody, I think I can count on one hand how many times in 5 years I've had to really make some major adjustments above and beyond my normal protocols, and maybe even use some supplementation to get somebody's cholesterol down who is following what I teach nutritionally. So it is such a powerful thing when you realize you don't need lifelong statins, because there are methods around it. Now, that does not mean YouTube police. That does not mean that I'm telling you to stop all your statins and all that stuff. Talk to your doctor first, blah, 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 blah. I will tell you.
We're not doctors and we don't play them on TV, on YouTube.
I am a PhD, not an MD. However, I will tell you that I have worked with so many people. I always tell people, don't come off your medicines yet when you first start working with me.
No.
Let's get your numbers better so that your doctor looks at you and goes, oh my gosh, your cholesterol is 130. Yeah, we need to take you off that. Thank you. They will. Same thing with your blood pressure medicines, your blood sugar medicines. Once you are either symptomatic that it's gotten too low, or your blood work changes, they're going to take you off of them.
Yep.
So,
you don't need them anymore.
It's a wonderful thing.
That's right.
All right, girl, what you got going on this week?
Oh, this week I'm going to continue my quest for the shampoo conditioner bar. Trying to get that perfected. Continue to work on tea blends. I am celebrating a birthday on Saturday. So at the beginning of the year, I bought tickets to the Homesteaders of America conference. So Friday and Saturday, in celebration of my birthday, I will be attending the Homesteaders of America conference with my love of my life. So I am so looking forward to that. So I will have all kinds of good stuff to share next week on that.
I'm so jealous. I wish I was going with you. I almost crashed your party. And then, well, for one, I'm now speaking at an event on Saturday, which I'm excited about. But also I was like, no, that's Wendy and Rick's thing. Let me not.
That's okay. Next year, because next year I think everything's going to fall within the Feast of the Tabernacles. So we should be camping somewhere together next year this time.
Yes, that's right. Wendy and I have shared that we've been really diving into learning so much about the feasts and the festivals of the Jewish people, and not because we have to. That's what's so beautiful about it. It's just learning why God put these things in practice.
Yes.
And, what their symbolism was, and why, what kind of, so just to share, he wanted to give us a reason to stop and remember him throughout the year, not just on Sundays, but also, and that's why he also, gave us the Sabbath as well, to rest, but also to focus on him. But that's what these feasts and festivals are.
Yes.
So the Festival of the Tabernacles, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Sukkot,
Sukkot.
and
Sukkot.
S-U-C-K, no, S-U-K-K-O-T. I don't know how to pronounce it, but same thing. Festival of Booths, Festival of Tabernacles. There's a million names of it.
Yes.
Festival in the Desert. But the whole purpose of it is to remember how God provided while the Jewish people were in the desert. But it's so much fun because they actually, people who celebrate this actually stay in tents. They
build temporary housing for
Yeah.
themselves to stay in during this time.
Yeah. And
I think it's amazing.
it's meant to be a time of celebration and
Yes.
fun, but also remembrance of all that God has done for us. And so those of us that believe in Christ, we also have so much to be thankful for, and about how, Christ came back for us and died for our sins. And, we don't have to celebrate these things anymore, like he ordered back in the Mosaic law. And it's,
no longer required.
No, but that doesn't mean we can't,
That's right.
So I love that stuff. So Wendy and I are really trying to plan this particular one that we actually go camping for 7 days next year. Bill did say, though, I don't know if the Homesteaders of America thing will work for us, because he did say it would have to be somewhere warm. He's not wrong, because we've been having like 40s and 50s at night, and I don't know that my little to be able to tolerate.
I'm always good going south.
So Florida, we might be coming at you next October. Actually, I think it falls in September next year. I think it's like the end of.
Okay, see, then we may be able to do a camping trip and Homesteaders Conference.
There you go. Anyway, so that is a lot of fun, and that's going on right now. It started, was it Monday night at sundown?
Yeah, Monday evening.
Yeah. So anyway, I am speaking at Evermore Farm on Saturday on your birthday. I will be thinking about you. I'm talking about the healthier forms of oils, stocks versus broths, different things like that, like more ingredient based, different sugars, the healthier forms of sugars, sugar alcohols, all that. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about that at Evermore Farm in Westminster, Maryland. So if anybody is close and wants to come, I know Miss Ginger still has some tickets available on the Evermore Farm website. If you look it up online, I don't remember specifically her website name, but it is Evermore Farm on Rockland Road in Westminster. So if you pull it up, you'll be able to see.
She's a sweet lady.
Oh, she is so sweet. She is so sweet. So that will be Saturday. I'm going to be working like crazy on my book. And next week, I am headed to Tennessee for a little surprise that I will share later. Not ready to do it yet.
After it happens.
I'm only going for 4 days, but it is very exciting. It's a very exciting time for our family. So,
yes.
Anyway, all right, you guys.
That's it for today.
One more time, let's plug our retreat series. So we want you to come to our retreat. It is here at Grace and Grove.
Come hang out with us. Come learn with us. Come make some stuff with us.
Yes. All this energy that we have on Wednesdays, we have this a lot of times. And especially when we're teaching in person, we love that. And, we are really pricing this very generously for all of the things you are going to have hands-on, all of the food, all of the take-home knowledge. Yes, all of the knowledge. You are going to get so much out of this. Catch it while we still have our early bird special through November 8th. November 15th is our first one coming up, which is just a 1 day. We do have a 2 day in April and a 2 day in October, which we post all of the information. So you all can decide if you want to do one or all. If you do a bundle special, you're saving a ton of money if you want to get all three. So,
And
all right.
if they can't find the links that we share, they can go to your website, right?
I think so. Did I put it on the website yet?
FreedomHolisticWellness.com.
Don't know if I put it on the website yet.
Okay.
I will in the next day or
Just
two.
follow the links, and if you can't find them, just reach out to us.
I'll tell you where you can find them. If you go to, and I think you did this too, my cover photo on Facebook, as well as on the Freedom Holistic Wellness group, and also on X, my pinned post.
Okay.
All of them have the link for you to purchase. And so that's 3 places I can tell you right now for sure that that they are.
I need to do mine on X. I did it on Facebook. Okay. So yeah, my cover photo on Facebook has that too.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, gang, you guys have an amazing week. We will be back with you next week. We'll probably wrap up, unless I can think of a few more, wrap up our fad diet discussion next week. We'll find out what Wendy's herb of the week will be next week.
That's right.
And I'm sure, as always, we'll have a whole lot more to talk about. So
always.
y'all have an amazing week. We love you.